Right. Welcome back to Echoes of Compassion, the channel where we explore the unseen impact of words and the quiet struggles many carry. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who might need a reminder of the power of kindness today. Today's story. Sophie had been searching for work for months. On paper, her life looked simple, a young woman with time on her hands, no job to rush off to, and endless hours to figure things out. That's what people thought they saw. But the reality was very different. Each morning, Sophie woke up to a heavy silence. Her alarm would ring, but instead of leaping out of bed, she lay there for long stretches, staring at the ceiling, fighting the weight pressing her down. Even brushing her teeth felt like a task that required extraordinary strength. Still, she pushed herself. She opened her laptop, typed in job sites, scrolled endlessly, and tried to summon enthusiasm to tailor yet another CV. Sometimes she managed to send 1 or 2 applications. Sometimes she just stared blankly at the screen, paralyzed by doubt and exhaustion. Depression is like that. It isn't just sadness. It's a fog that clouds the mind, a heaviness that drags at the body, a voice that whispers, "What's the point?" And yet, every day Sophie battled that voice, even when no one noticed. From the outside, though, her efforts were invisible. Neighbors saw her leaving the house late in the day, maybe heading to the shop for bread or milk. They noticed she was around more often than she used to be. They wondered, whispered, and judged. One afternoon, as Sophie carried a small bag of groceries back home, her neighbor Mrs. Clark called out across the street. With a mix of irritation and pity in her tone, she said, "Honestly, Sophie, you're not even trying." 5 simple words. Said casually, even dismissively. But they cut through Sophie like a knife. She managed a faint smile, the polite mask she had learnt to wear, and walked back inside. But once the door closed, her mask slipped. The bag dropped to the floor, and she sank onto the sofa, tears streaming down her face. Those words echoed in her mind for days. "You're not even trying." They overshadowed every application she had sent, every interview she had struggled through, every ounce of effort it had taken just to keep moving. She replayed conversations in her head, questioning herself, "Maybe I am lazy. Maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe this is all my fault." Depression twisted the neighbor's words into poison, making her doubt her worth even more. The cruel irony was that Sophie had been trying harder than anyone realized. Every rejection email she received felt like a punch in the chest. Yet she still pressed on, still opened her laptop the next day, still hoped against hope that something would change. But Mrs. Clark hadn't seen that. She hadn't seen Sophie's trembling hands as she sat in interviews, fighting the panic rising in her chest. She hadn't seen the effort it took just to put on clean clothes and step outside. She hadn't seen the silent war Sophie fought every single day. That's the danger of careless words. They are based on what little we see, while the truth lies hidden beneath the surface. What looks like idleness might, in fact, be resilience. What looks like laziness might be someone fighting to survive. And words like "you're not even trying" don't motivate. They don't inspire. They wound. They reinforce the very shame and hopelessness that people like Sophie already struggle with. A few days later, Sophie received a text message from her friend Emma. It was short and simple, "I know you're doing your best. I'm proud of you for keeping on, even when it's hard." That message didn't erase her depression. It didn't magically hand her a job. But it reminded her she wasn't invisible. It reminded her that someone saw her effort, even when she could barely see it herself. Sophie held onto those words like a lifeline. They gave her the strength to send another application, and then another. Slowly, she began to believe that perhaps she wasn't failing after all. Perhaps she was stronger than she realized. And that is the power of words. One thoughtless comment can deepen someone's despair. One kind message can help them hold on a little longer. So the next time you're tempted to judge, to say someone isn't trying, pause. Ask yourself, do I really know their story? Do I see the battles they fight when no one is watching? Because behind every closed door, there might be a Sophie, pushing herself through a fog of pain, hoping for understanding, and needing nothing more than a little compassion. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to share it with someone who might need it. Comment below with your thoughts. Have you ever been misunderstood in a struggle others couldn't see? And don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of Compassion for more stories that reveal the hidden weight of words and remind us to choose empathy.